I'm just wondering if there's going to be more failures than successes that come out of this process for Labour. We saw resignations in the early stages of this debate. You've got Clive Lewis saying he's going to wait to see what else gets through because he's considering his position. And then there's Diane Abbott. Do you know if she's going to turn up today?
Well, look, I can only speak for myself, and I'm not going to attempt to speak for anybody else.
Well, you're all part of a party. You all speak to each other. Diane Abbott, it's quite embarrassing. You know, she says she was ill, and that's why she didn't turn up to the last vote. But, you know, you've got hashtag Brexit flu, hashtag pray for Diane Abbott. It looks really bad that one of your senior MPs doesn't turn up to a vote when she was seen in a pub the night before.
Well, look, I can't speak for Diane Abbott.
But you must have spoken to her. I'm trying to help you here in terms of you must have spoken to her, because Labour is coming out of this at the moment, it seems, quite badly. You're championing one success at the moment.
Well, we have said from the outset that we accept the result of the referendum, and that means that the Prime Minister must be allowed at least to start the negotiations. We've been concentrating on putting in scrutiny and accountability and making sure that what rights we've already enjoy under EU law are going to be put into our law, making sure that the objective is tariff-free access. We've also argued for transitional measures so that we don't come off a cliff edge, and we've asked for a vote at the end of the exercise. Now, of course, we haven't got everything that we want. No opposition can ever do that. That's the nature of being in opposition. But we are making advances, making steps forward, and we're going to continue this battle over the next 2 years to try and ensure that the deal that is finally agreed is the best deal for everybody in the UK.
OK, that's the long-term battle, and I appreciate that. But in the short term, Labour does have battles to face. And there are rebel Labour MPs, a huge number of them, that are ignoring Jeremy Corbyn's three-line whip. Diane Abbott is the sort of shining example at the moment. Everybody's saying, where is she? Will she turn up today? How will she vote? Do you think that she will end up being forced to resign over this? It's a real sticking point for her, it seems.
Look, well, you keep asking me to account for Diane Abbott's actions, and I'm not going to do so. It's up to Diane Abbott what she does. Jeremy Corbyn made it absolutely clear yesterday that he's imposing a three-line whip on the vote. Everybody knows the consequences of that, but I'm not going to stand here and answer for any other member of the Shadow Cabinet. OK, well, there are 47 other Labour MPs that could defy the leader today. As I said, you all talk to each other. You must get the general mood of what way that vote's going today. Well, we saw the individuals who voted against the whip last week, and when I opened my remarks last week, I made it clear that this is a difficult decision for the Labour Party. We campaigned to stay in the EU, but we also recognise and accept the outcome of the referendum, and therefore there are differences of views. But I think in the end, as a party, we have to take a position of accepting the outcome of the referendum, despite the fact that many, including myself, passionately argued that we should remain in. But we told people it was a real decision. It was a real decision. It has to be accepted and respected. And that means the Prime Minister must at least be at last allowed to start the negotiation.
Okay,
what we need to do, the real work, is framing this to ensure that rights and the economy and jobs are fully protected through the process, and that's what we're focusing on.
OK, well, I'd like to focus on the unification or lack thereof in your party over Brexit. You seem convinced that this has to happen, as does the leader Jeremy Corbyn. As I said, this three-line whip. But there are 47 Labour MPs who are not listening. How is Jeremy Corbyn feeling about this? You must have spoken to the leader about it. Is he frustrated? You know, how's he feeling?
Well, all of us have accepted that there are differences of views across the party. We have a situation where 2/3 of Labour MPs represent areas that voted to leave, many of them heavily to leave, and 1/3 represent areas that voted to remain. So, of course, there are differences of views. There are some that recognise that the referendum result has to be accepted and respected. And that's the vast majority, and that's the position of the party. But it's not sensible for me to pretend that there aren't differences of views in the party, and that's precisely what I did in Parliament when I made my remarks last week.